The Portland Trailblazers have a massive decision to make in this offseason. They landed the 3rd overall pick in the lottery, and they could choose to keep it and build around that player, or they could trade it to build around Damian Lillard. So I asked you guys on the community tab, what do you want to see me do in the Trailblazers number 3 pick rebuild? Do you want to see me trade Damian Lillard, or do you want to see me trade the 3rd pick to build around Dame? And you guys voted on trading Damian Lillard. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So before we get back into the video, I want to give a word from today's sponsor, NBA SoRare. SoRare is a fantasy game and marketplace where you could buy, sell, trade, and own officially licensed digital player cards. And SoRare is in partnership with the NBA Players Association, as well as other sports like baseball, the MLB, and soccer. In SoRare, you're basically an NBA general manager. You select who you want on your team in your lineup, and you have to have that lineup in the restraints of the salary cap. So there's a lot of strategy goes into it. That's why it's super fun to play. And what's nice about SoRare is you can use these players next year and the season after that, so they don't go away. And with the season winding down, I'm looking at my players that I think are going to have good value next year. Like, I wonder where Austin Reeves is going to be, but I'm going to keep my eye on him in my lineup next year. Is RJ Barrett or Julius Randle going to get traded? Is Jalen Green going to take a step back in his usage, so maybe he's not going to be as valuable at 35 or so points? Definitely Jalen Williams going to keep my eye on. Trae Young, one of my better cards. And then also you can compete in limited contender lineups as well, where you can win prizes and swag and NBA gift cards. And my 2 best limited player cards are guys that could be traded in the offseason, like Anthony Simons and DeAndre Ayton. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on them in my SoRare team. So yeah, you can sign up with SoRare for free. With the link in the description, you get 10 free common cards when you sign up using that link. And like I said, if you get limited player cards from the marketplace, you're opening up packs, you can compete with them for gift cards and other prizes as well. SoRare is based in France, so they're giving away VIP tickets to the Paris game next year. You gotta hop on that. So yeah, link in the description to join SoRare. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. So what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? Let's rebuild the Portland Trailblazers with the 3rd overall pick. We're gonna keep Chauncey Billups as our head coach for now. We have Scott Brooks, which is a pretty solid assistant. And I'm pretty excited to build this team around the 3rd overall pick, in which I plan on taking a wing. You could probably guess who it is, especially if you watch the Hornets rebuild. We have Anthony Simons at the shooting guard spot, but we also have Shaedon Sharpe. And while I love Anthony Simons, I wouldn't say he's going to be locked in as our franchise shooting guard. I think that's going to be Shaedon Sharpe. So there's a chance Simons gets moved in this video for maybe a point guard or a big man. And now I also have to think of a team that would trade for Damian Lillard. Which team would give up multiple assets to get him? You have a desperate team like the Dallas Mavericks, who could lose Kyrie in the offseason, but do they really have the assets to get it done? Another team that's trying to get to success is the New Orleans Pelicans. They definitely have the assets to get it done. While the Suns, the Clippers, the Lakers would love to get Damian Lillard, they probably don't have enough to get it done. Philly would be interesting, especially if James Harden leaves Philadelphia. The Knicks, not very likely anymore with Jalen Brunson there. The Nets could be intrigued because they don't have any of their first-round picks for the next couple of years from the James Harden deal, so they might be trying to win immediately. Miami as well, they could be interested in getting Damian Lillard. Toronto, Chicago, Washington, some of these teams could also be in play. Let's see if the Brooklyn Nets accept this offer, and they do. So we make a trade giving up Damian Lillard to Brooklyn. We get Nick Claxton, a rim protector Portland hasn't had in years. 24 years old. We also landed 4 future first-round picks, including pick 21 in this draft. That's Suns pick in 2025, 2027, as well as that Sixers pick in 2027. We also gave up Nasir Little in the deal as well. Now, Damian Lillard is 32, and you have to remember this is NBA 2K. You're not getting the best offer in return, but I would say 4 first-round picks and a rim protector to build around that's only 24 years old is a solid return for a 32-year-old that really isn't a two-way player. Dame, great offensive player, but yeah, he's on the wrong side of 30, and he's sometimes a liability on the defensive end. And it makes sense for the Brooklyn Nets as well, since, like I mentioned, they don't have their first round pick, so they have really no incentive to tank it all. So why not trade those Suns picks to go out and get Dame? And Jeremy Grant's a free agent now. I might bring back Jeremy Grant because I like his fit next to Nick Claxton. Okay, so I'm getting Brandon Miller regardless, especially since they got Scoot in the Hornets rebuild. But look at this. I could get offered Wemby for the 3rd overall pick, but not Brandon Miller, who went 2nd overall to the Hornets. In every rebuild I've done after the lottery, this was always the Scoot Henderson pick. Why is it when I need to do a Blazers Brandon Miller rebuild, or I want to get Brandon Miller, the Hornets take him? So, you know what? I'm going to make a trade for Brandon Miller to put him on the squad. And what's nice about Portland, they also have another first-round pick via the New York Knicks from the Josh Hart trade, which I'm going to take Bryce Sensabaugh, the freshman out of Ohio State, just another wing scoring option. So we landed 2 new small forwards in this draft with Brandon Miller and Sensabaugh. And we're also getting a good back backup to Nick Claxton, Derek Lively, who I think could go in the late lottery because he's been showing his three-point shot in workouts in the combine. He's got elite rim protecting potential, so if he's a 3-and-D guy at the 5, he could go at pick 13, 14, or maybe just right outside the lottery. And I'm going to take Isaiah Wong out of Miami here in the second round. If you wanted to see what some of the other teams did, Taylor Hendricks went 4th overall, which was kind of crazy. Jarris Walker went 5th. Keontae George 6th. Cam Whitmore 7th. Nick Smith 8th. Ryan Repair 9th. And Asor Thompson 10th. And obviously, Scoot Henderson would be the perfect successor to Damian Lillard. But it's looking like, I don't know. I think the Hornets should take Scoot at pick number 2, but if not, say they take Brandon Miller, hey, I got a Brandon Miller Hornets rebuild, and I got a Scoot Henderson Blazers rebuild to do after the draft. So we're going to pick up the team option on Trendon Watford. Keon Johnson, honestly, for $2.8 million, as he was a former first-round pick, I'm going to decline that. Same with Kevin Knox as well. Clears up just under $6 million. I like picking up that Watford deal. But yeah, Jeremy Grant is somebody I got to decide if I want to bring back. I will give the qualifying offer to Thibault and Reddish. While Grant isn't the best player in the world and he's not somebody I'm building around, that he's 29 years old, we kind of need some veterans on this roster. Because if we look at the team right now, we're kind of led by two 24-year-olds. Oh, yeah, wait. So I got Lively and I got Claxton. Watford is listed as a center. Interesting. There's no need for Jusuf Nurkic on this team right now. And I'm going to trade him to Dallas for Davis Bertans, an expiring contract, but I get their top 10 protected pick in 2025. I kind of like that. We can give more minutes to now Claxton and Lively, like I mentioned, and we get a pick in the future, get off that contract in Nurkic. So right now we're kind of set at the 5. Yeah, power forward is pretty weak. Now, we could play Brandon Miller there at some points because I would like to give Bryce Sensabaugh some run. And we're chilling at the shooting guard spot with Simons and Sharp. Now, honestly, since we have some cap, I wouldn't mind going out and trading for like Chris Paul at this point if the value was so low because he could be a leader for this team and this young core. But I wouldn't mind also getting a high pick next year. But we do need a point guard next season. So I'm really just looking for a veteran that could just get everybody involved. Fred VanVleet could be that guy, but I'm not really kind of ready to give Fred VanVleet a 4-year deal, or I'm not willing to do that. Russ would be fun, but I don't know if Russ would buy in as that guy. So I think Mike Conley could be that perfect veteran that we could use on the roster. Dennis Schroeder could be a nice guy as well at 29 years old. Still might have some good play left in him, but I'm going to give Mike Conley a 1-year deal worth about $15 million. Mentor some guys. Ohio State, also Bryce Sensabaugh, who we just drafted. I'm not going to renounce the rights. Oh, okay, wait, maybe I will. So yeah, I think I would like to bring back Jeremy Grant because at some point he could be a trade piece for us. So let me not sign Mike Conley just yet because I'm going to give Jeremy Grant a 3-year deal but a team option on the last year. And with Brandon Miller and Sensabaugh, I'm going to renounce the rights on Thibault. Cam Reddish, maybe I'll keep it open, but I think Thibault is gone. So yeah, Mike Conley probably out of the equation. He didn't get signed yet. And while I probably still can sign Mike Conley, I would say buy to Cam Reddish. So what do I value? Maybe the potential of Cam Reddish or the veteran leadership of Mike Conley. Honestly, wouldn't mind Mike Conley because I could also move him at the deadline as well. So let's see if he accepts that 1-year offer from us, or does he get a better deal? Let's see. I think we're going to get him, and we do. 1-year deal. Can I sign him and not renounce the rights on Reddish? No. Okay. Yeah, so let's renounce the rights on Reddish. And right now, this team has a solid core. I wouldn't mind signing like another guy or two. I'm going to give PJ Dozier a 1-year deal, Eric Pascal a 1-year deal, and Stanley Johnson a 1-year deal as well. We get Dozier, we get Pascal, and we got Stanley Johnson. Kyrie stayed in Dallas. Harden stays in Philly. KP goes to Indiana. Vucevic to Houston. Here is play progression. Simons is up to an 85. Claxton's up to an 85. The thing with Claxton is also, he's a free agent next year, so we got to pay him a ton of money. Simons already got his next contract. Grant, nice veteran in the locker room. Him and Conley, excuse me. We do have to release a player, and that's going to be Davis Bertans. He was never going to crack the rotation. All right, so this is going to be the rotation. Mike Conley, Anthony Simons, Brandon Miller, Jeremy Grant, Nick Claxton, with Shaedon Sharpe as the 6th man, Bryce Sensabaugh as the 7th man. Then we have Trendon Watford, Derek Lively, and Joe Harris getting minutes. I think I'm going to send Isaiah Wong, our 2nd-round pick, out of Miami to the G League. We are 3.5-star perimeter centric. I feel like we're not going to be great defense, which is fine. That's why Simons wasn't like, I don't know. Maybe he's the guy we'll see C- perimeter D. I don't know if he could be our franchise guy and Billups as the coach, as they don't really correlate. First game of the season is at home against Minnesota, and we ended up winning by 13 points. Simons with 27, Brandon Miller with 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists. I mean, that's a great debut to your NBA career. And then Nick Claxton gets hurt for 6 to 8 weeks. Bruh. We ended up getting blown out by Denver in this game. Jokic had a triple-double. Jeremy Grant getting that trade value up. We love to see that. Road game against San Antonio. We end up losing by 12. Kelly Olynyk was the leading scorer. Okay. Couple games here against the Pelicans in which we lose the first one, lose the second one. That's fine, as I believe we do have our first round pick at the end of this year. Okay, it says we don't via 2K, but I believe the Bulls have that pick, and I will double check the protections on it. There's no protection here. Let me see if there's a protection on it. Okay, it's literally lottery protected till 2028, so we're chilling. So I am perfectly okay being bad this year. And there goes Mike Conley. Okay, yeah, so we're going to have Bryce Sensabaugh be mentored by Joe Harris. It is a 5-year difference, so I'm going to do it. Derek Lively by Nick Claxton. Another 5-year difference, Brandon Miller and Anthony Simons. So yeah, don't plan on being good. Like I said, we could be a seller at the deadline. Mike Conley, Jeremy Grant, they could be on the move. Let's see what our record is. So it's the All-Star draft. You have Team Jokic and Team Tatum. I was wondering if Anthony Simons was going to make the All-Star game. He does not. I mean, we are 19-35. We aren't doing great. We could see where we are in comparison to the rest of the league. We're 13th in the West. Okay. I mean, like, yeah, we're pretty bad. Anthony Simons, though, is having an incredible season, averaging 25 points. Is it empty stats, though? We'll see. Can he be a top guy on a championship team? 48 from the field, 42 from 3. 88 from the line, averaging 4.7 assists as well. Shaedon Sharpe, our number 2 scorer. That's like the decision also I need to make. Do I like Sharpe or do I like Simons long term? Brandon Miller, I think, has been fine for a rookie, shooting 37 from 3, averaging 6.9 assists as well, so I'm fine with 15 points a night. Jeremy Grant shooting 35 from 3, averaging just under a steal and block a night. I'll see if there's a trade for him. It might come in the offseason since he is making a decent amount of money. Claxton's been on and off with injuries the whole season. I have to make a big decision with Claxton. He was the main player we got back in the Lillard trade. But is he somebody I want to give $30+ million a year to? I do not know. Sensabaugh, I think, has been fine as a rookie, 7th man. And yeah, Mike Conley's efficiency hasn't been great. I don't know if I really will find a trade partner for him. I might as well just keep him. So we really have no contract extensions to get done. But I like where this team is headed. I think I could definitely get a pick for Jeremy Grant, but I'm going to move him in the offseason. And Trae Young wins MVP this season, averaging 32 points and 12 assists. I've been seeing this so often now with Trae winning MVP and Quinn Snyder getting Coach of the Year. Wemby does get Rookie of the Year in San Antonio. You got Cole Anthony, 6th Man of the Year in Orlando. Could definitely see that. Giannis, Depoy, Garland, Most Improved. And yeah, right on cue. Schneider, Coach of the Year. Victor Wembanyama, All-NBA 3rd team in year 1. Brandon Miller is on our rookie first team. Let's go. We were not in the playing tournament. But yeah, I will be getting my first round pick in this draft. Let's see who wins the 2024 finals. It's between the Suns and the Hawks, and the winner goes to the Atlanta Hawks in 6, with Trae winning MVP and finals MVP in the same season. Mike Conley retired as well. Final year with the Blazers. Watch 2K give the Bulls the number 1 pick. When in reality, it's my pick. So let's see what happens here. It actually stays at 4, which I'll take the 4th overall pick here in the 2024 draft. We're going to keep Chauncey Billups as our head coach going forward, I think. I'm going to try to hire Steven Silas as my shot doctor, and we get him. All right, so let's see where we can improve this team. I also didn't really talk about Derek Lively's rookie season. It really wasn't great offensively, but the rim protection is definitely there. With Halliburton in Indiana, like, Andrew Nembhard is never going to be that long-term point guard, but maybe he could be for us. So I'm going to try to do a Jeremy Grant for Andrew Nembhard swap. Grant's got 1 year left on his deal, but he could be an ideal fit next to Miles Turner and Benedict Mathurin, and we get Nembhard, who eventually is going to be a free agent very soon. So let's see if they agree to this offer, and they do straight up 1-for-1. I need to add another veteran this offseason, though, because I can't have everybody in the rotation be under the age of 26. The number 1 pick, the Orlando Magic, take Xavier Booker. Wow, I thought they would go Buzuelos with Banchero and Wagner there. Interesting. Buzuelos goes 2 to the Bulls. Now that's the right selection. 3 is going to be Justin Edwards out of Kentucky. And with a guard-driven league, there's so many point guard options out there. So instead of going for DJ Wagner or Isaiah Collier, I'm going to go with Ron Holland, who can maybe be a stretch 4 for us long-term next to Brandon Miller, or move Brandon Miller to the 4 and have Holland at the 3. We do have a second rounder. I'm going to take Sean Stewart, and that concludes the 2024 NBA draft. So we have Stewart and Holland here. Holland is 6'8", 19 years old. We're going to pick up the team option on Sharpe, Watford, not to Jabari Walker. 2.1 on Isaiah Wong. Second round pick. Yeah, he's already 22. I'm going to decline it. Eric Pascal, not giving him the qualifying offer. So looking now, I'm going to look for a backup point guard behind Nembhard. We're fine at the 2. We're fine at the 3. Kind of the 4. I really got to decide about Claxton. He wants a lot of money. We do have some cap space before he's a free agent. Now I could go out and sign a Kristaps Porzingis or sign a Lonzo Ball. I think I might wait on the backup point guard option. If Taylor Horton-Tucker's price or expected salary goes down, I might go for him. I love getting Jared Vanderbilt, but I'm not going to sign him. Patrick Williams I would go after, but not for $33 million. Isaiah Stewart could be interesting. Same with Grant Williams as well. Caleb Martin, the playoff series he's having for the Miami Heat right now. So I'm going to try to get Isaiah Stewart here from the Pistons. Now, I don't know if, like the Pistons pick originally was the Isaiah Stewart selection, because this, I think, involved the Robert Covington trade, which was like a 3-teamer involved, but it could end up being the Saddiq Bey one. So I will give Isaiah Stewart a 3-year contract. We'll see if he ends up accepting it, but yeah, I think Joe Harris, Jabari Walker, they're probably done here in Portland. We're just going to keep conversations open with Nick Claxton. Stewart agrees. It does not get matched. I did offer Claxton a 3-year deal, with the last year being a player option, and he is going to accept it. And like I said, we're going to go after a backup point guard, preferably a veteran. That could be Schroeder. That could be TJ McConnell. Just get all the former Pacers guards with Nembhard and McConnell here. Alvarado, Chris Dunn. I think Schroeder could be a good backup point guard option, so I'm going to give him a 1-year deal to come to Portland, and he should accept that offer. Let's see, and boom, we get him there. AD stays in LA. Jaylen Brown goes to LA, joins the Clippers. Halliburton stays in Indiana. Kawhi stays in LA. Wow, so they let go of Paul George, but they bring in Jaylen Brown to replace him. That's a huge pickup. A couple of players switching teams here. We're still an incredibly young team at the moment. Shaedon Sharpe with a huge progression there, up to an 85 overall. Brandon Miller, no progression after year 1, hurts a little bit. So at the moment, Derek Lively might be out of the rotation, because I kind of want to see what Trendon Watford can do there. Dennis Schroeder's going to get about like 14 minutes as the backup point guard. Watford probably about 14 as well. Sensabaugh at 19. I think Holland can get like 25. We'll probably do 30 minutes to Sharpe as the 6th man, because I think Stewart could stay at 25. We'll do 29 to Claxton. This is where it gets a little bit difficult. So it might look something like this. Injuries will happen, so minutes will change. We're not a great defensive team under Chauncey. So game 1 against the Jazz at home, we ended up losing by 7. Brandon Miller with 27 points. I probably got to find more playing time for him, and that will come throughout the season. You know, we're going to progress these guys. We're going to continue to develop them. I'm okay for bad again this season. We're looking at the bigger picture here. All right, so this Blazers team is actually winning some games. Anthony Simons broke his ankle about a month and a half ago. He just came back from it, and we are 6 games above 500 here at the All-Star Draft, which is, you know, like, I wouldn't say right on schedule. We're ahead of schedule after just trading away our franchise player and arguably the greatest player in franchise history, Damian Lillard, who is a starter here on Team Jokic. And look how elite he has been in Brooklyn. 70% true shooting. Like, what? We had no all-stars, though, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm about to be a buyer at the deadline. Now, we do end up winning our last game here, 31-25. We are the 4th seed in the West, but we're only like 3 games ahead of like the 9th seed. But Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe, both these guys are elite. Now, could Simons project into the franchise point guard? Maybe. 5.2 assists. He's a good playmaker. And Shaedon Sharpe, man, I feel like I got to get him more minutes. He's getting about 30 off the bench, but he's an elite scorer. He's averaging 28.7. Brandon Miller has been solid this season. The efficiency has dropped a little bit, which is something we do have to monitor. Nick Claxton is averaging a career high in points. Cool. Andrew Nembhard about 11 points, 5.6 assists. The efficiency, though, did we get kind of ripped off in this trade? Is he a free agent at the end of the year? No, he does have another year of team control. But maybe I experiment with Simons at the 1, Nembhard off the bench, maybe no minutes to Schroeder, and Sharpe is like the starting shooting guard. We could go with that. I think Isaiah Stewart has been really good for us this season in the role we need him to be. Ron Holland's efficiency hasn't been great as a rookie, but he's 19 years old. I'm not going to harp on that too much. Bryce Sensabaugh's numbers have dropped a little bit, which is not what we want to see, but it makes sense with us adding like Holland and Nembhard to this rotation. So I think what I'm going to do is try Simons at the 1 and start Sharpe. This is going to lower Nembhard's minutes a little bit, and we're going to see what a Simons, Sharpe, Miller trio can look like for the remainder of the season. Derek Lively got some playing time. Man, he has been pretty poor offensively for us. So, you know what? We make the playoffs. That's great. Didn't expect to be there, but if we don't, that's fine. We get our first round pick. If we do make it, though, it does go to Chicago. So I'm fine either way. Let's see how we finish out season number 2 here in the 2025 season. So at the end of this season, Nikola Jokic wins MVP, almost averages a triple-double. It's kind of nice to see like a non-point guard win this award. Montas Buzelis gets Rookie of the Year for the Chicago Bulls. Markelle Fultz, 6th Man of the Year in Atlanta, obviously behind Trae Young. Wemby gets T-Boy in his 2nd season. And then Tyrese Halliburton, most improved, maybe because Andrew Nembhard isn't there anymore. We did get Ron Holland on All-Rookie First Team. It wasn't great, honestly. The efficiency was not there, but good facilitation from a power forward / small forward. 3.6 assists, also 1.3 steals, 1.5 blocks. So we know he's going to be a very good defender in this league. And we were the 1 seed. Wait, what? We had that good of an ending to our regular season. We were like 39-31. Oh my god, 48 wins, won the conference? Okay, well, the Western Conference was that competitive this season, and obviously our first round pick is going to go to the Chicago Bulls, as Shaedon Sharpe ended up being our leading scorer. 22.4 points, 3.9 rebounds, had a steal a night, 43% from downtown. Anthony Simons ending the season as the point guard, 5.3 assists. There's Brandon Miller, who shot 36 from 3, 89 from the line, 54% true shooting. Okay. Claxton, 12, 9.6 over steal and block a game on that new contract. There's Andrew Nembhard, Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland. Bryce Sensabaugh, I think, was kind of underrated for us. Like, he's definitely very valuable to our future. And we are a fully healthy team in the playoffs. Unfortunately, Ron Holland isn't going to play that much due to his inefficiency, so I think Sensabaugh could be the sixth man. Andrew Nembhard can come off the bench as well. 24 minutes to Sensabaugh. Probably 26 to Stewart. Let's do 40 to Simons and Sharp, and we could do about 2 more to Nick Claxton. So we are going to be taking on the Memphis Grizzlies in round 1. They still have Ja. They have Zaire as their starting shooting guard. They have Kawhi Leonard at the 3, Triple J at the 4, Zubats at the 5, Vucevic coming off the bench, Taylor Horton-Tucker there as well. I didn't think we were going to be the 1 seed a year later after trading away Damian Lillard. Bryce Sensabaugh 18 and 10 in game 1. Love to see that. Game 2, we end up winning by 28 points. Simons and Sharp combined for 64. Hell yeah. Game 3, we win by 9 points. And we are now 1 game away from sweeping the Memphis Grizzlies. And we do not. They end up winning Game 4 by 13. Can we gentlemen sweep them? We can. We end up winning by 6 here in Game 5. Brandon Miller with 27, Sharp 25, Simons and Claxton 21 apiece. And we're going to be taking on the Denver Nuggets, who have the MVP, Nikola Jokic. They don't have Jamal Murray, or he is hurt. He is hurt. Wow. It's a big break for us. Game 1, we end up beating them. Oh my god, we dropped 143. Shaedon Sharpe with 54 points. Claxton with a double-double. Brandon Miller had 13 assists. Look at him facilitating. Game 2, we ended up losing by 4 in a huge scoring game as well. 141-36. Brandon Miller shot 3 for 11. I was like, do I want to play Brandon Miller as the point guard? We could think about that. Game 3, Brandon Miller has a dislocated right finger. He could play through it. Okay, he's fine. We end up beating them by 13. Just a great defensive fourth quarter from us. Shaedon Sharpe is averaging 31 points in the playoffs. Love to see him breaking out. We dropped game 4. Oh, wow. We lost by 63 points. Are you kidding me? Oh, and Jamal Murray is back. Okay, let's see how this series goes. Game 5. Ooh, Ron Holland's strained left MCL, 2 to 4 weeks. He could play through it. We end up beating them by 18 points. Anthony Simons, 44, 5, and 10 in 44 minutes. Goes perfect from the line. Can we win in 6? Nope. The Nuggets force a Game 7. Jokic is not going down easily. Bryce Sensabaugh had 24 points in 24 minutes. All right, let's see what happens here. Game 7, Blazers and Nuggets. We are at home. We have 58 points with 8 minutes left in the second. Yeah, okay. Wow, they came back. God, it's 82-75 here in the third. We are up by 2. Oh boy, up by 4 as the fourth quarter is starting. We're already at 116. They're at 112. All right, let's see who takes home the Game 7 victory in the fourth, and we end up winning it 162-154 in regulation. Anthony Simons with 37 points in 37 minutes. Shaedon Sharpe, 36 and 41. Let's freaking go, and we're in the conference finals taking on the Pelicans, who have McCollum, Daniels, Ingram, Zion, Capella, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, Grady Dick off the bench. I really don't know how this team is in the conference finals as we win game 1 by 6. Like, okay, I guess 2K is... Oh, there goes Brandon Miller out 1 to 2 weeks. But yeah, I was going to say, I guess like 2K just really likes this Blazers team. This is going to put Bryce Sensabaugh into the starting rotation. So yeah, we have injuries to Ron Holland and Brandon Miller right now. Okay, so let's see who wins game 2. And it is the Portland Trail Blazers, 125-116. Sensabaugh with 15, 8, and 5. Oh yeah, game 3. We lose this game by 18. Zion with 35, Ingram with 33. Are they going to make this a series? Nope, we go up 3-1. We win 134-133. Simons with 39 points in 31 minutes. Sharp 29 points in 42 minutes. And okay, let's not blow a 3-1 lead. We gave up 152 in game 5, and it's okay. We gave up 133 in game 6. We're on the verge of blowing a 3-1 lead. Game 7 once again. This, like, we're still at home in this one. I'm nervous, man. I don't want to blow a 3-1 lead. I know, like, I'm just happy we were here at this point. I did not expect to be here. But blowing a 3-1 lead will hurt. We're up by 17 in the fourth. Oh, my God, yeah. We're going to win this game. We win at 118-104. Markel Fultz, who I think is coming off the bench for the Hawks, is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Shaedon Sharpe, your Western Conference Finals MVP. Sharpe had 24 points here. Let's freaking go. We're taking on the Atlanta Hawks, who have Fultz, Murray, Griffin, Collins, Okongwu. Clay off the bench. Is Trae Young hurt? Wow. How long is Trae Young out for? Broken left leg. Oh my God, he's going to be back soon. Wow. He has missed probably a decent amount of time with this injury. No. Wait, what? He played all 82 games and he broke his leg and he's day-to-day? Huh? Did he just get hurt in like the first game of the playoffs? It must have been in the last game of the regular season because he did not play in game 1 against the Pistons, but he played all 82 regular season games. Okay. Game 1 goes to the Atlanta Hawks. No Trae Young and they still win. Wow. We just could not score in that fourth quarter. Yikes. Game 2. Okay, Brandon Miller's back. Let's go. Let's see if we can win game 2 with Brandon Miller back. And no, we end up losing by 40. Okay, and Trae Young is back. Oh, that's brutal. All right, game 3. We go down 3-0. Damn. So this Cinderella run might be cut short. And just don't get swept in the finals. Oh, my God. And we get swept. Markelle Fultz is your finals MVP. We lost by 13. So we lost by 39, 40, 6, and 13. Pretty brutal finals there from us. Oh, man. After going to the finals, too, that just hurts just getting swept. Tom Tibbs retires in New York. Okay. Hall of Fame, Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. Some point guard goats there. So the Bulls are going to get our first round pick. Now, do we have any first round picks from any other teams? And oh man, that Mavericks pick is here, but it is top 10 protected. That was from the Nurkic trade. And then we also have the Suns pick at 14, which is going to be the 14th pick most likely. There's no protection on that. I will take that. So we have the 14th pick in the draft. The Mavericks have the second pick. So yeah, just the 14th pick in this draft. I guess I got to bring back Chauncey Billups, right? He just brought us to the NBA Finals, so I'm going to give him a 2-year extension. Scott Brooks might leave us, but I'm going to try to get Joe Prunty there as a assistant head coach, and we get both. Let's go. All right, so how can we make this team win the finals next year? I don't know if there's any moves I should make or just kind of keep developing this core. We do have the 14th overall pick, which can like maybe be the Dennis Schroeder minutes or the Trendon Watford minutes, as Ian Jackson goes 1, Mavericks at 2 take Bears Bakayoko, 3 Dylan Harper out of Rutgers, and I'm going to take Zach Clark, a point guard here with the 14th overall pick. Oh yeah, so let's sign him. Team player options, Sharp obviously come back, or is going to come back. Same with Brandon Miller, Andrew Nembhard, Sensabaugh. Lively at 3 mil. I don't know if he cracks the rotation, but I will bring him back. Sean Stewart, 1.97 mil. I'll bring him back as well. He is a former second-round pick. It's a loaded free agency class, as you could see. LeBron is still in this league at 40 years old, okay? Yeah, he is a free agent. He's got 1 offer. Is it just from the Lakers? Yeah. We have about $14 million in cap space with only Trendon Watford as our like notable free agent. So we could look to spend that money on an upgrade as a backup 5. We have, yeah, I didn't even realize we have the Stewarts there at the 4s. And then we'll see if we get some good progression out of this team. I could look to sign one of these point guards. I don't really know if I want Monty Morris. So if we're going to look in the backup center market, I like Kevon Mooney. Yeah, let's try to get Kevon Mooney on a 2-year deal, $20 million guaranteed, and we are going to sign him, so that means Trendon Watford is gone. He's going to be our backup center behind Nick Claxton. And I'm going to try to sign veteran John Wall on a 1-year deal. Don't think he's going to make the rotation, but he could be a good guy to have as a mentor to maybe Anthony Simons. As Tatum goes to the Jazz, Giannis to the Hornets, Cade Cunningham to the Knicks, Josh Giddey and Brandon Ingram to the Celtics, Jalen Brunson to the Pistons, KP back to the Knicks. So Shaedon Sharpe is up to an 89 overall. Nick Claxton regresses a little bit. So does Simons in his inside scoring and his physicals, but he goes up in his playmaking, which is great. That is huge for him being, I think, our starting point guard next season. All right, so it's going to be Simon, Sharp, Miller, Stewart, Claxton once again with Sensabaugh, Holland, Nembhard, and Looney off the bench. Lively, Wall, Clark, those can all be first guys off the bench if an injury does happen. Defense, Chauncey Billups, 2.5 stars. Not great, like I said, but we're going to keep rocking with that if, like, we're going to be the 1 seed. All right, we get blown out to start the year. Great. Jason Tatum on the Utah Jazz. Then we have a road game against the Denver Nuggets. We end up beating them by 17. Shaedon Sharpe with 31. Simons 24. Miller 24. Claxton had a double-double. So, yeah, we have a couple guys on contract years. We have Shaedon Sharpe, Anthony Simons, Andrew Nembhard all on contract years. Okay, that's going to be very interesting if we don't win it all and we go into the 2026 offseason. All right, so we are killing it so far to start the season. We are 28-10, so we're going to be fighting for that 1 seed in the Western Conference. Maybe at the deadline, I make a buyer's move. I don't know how I'd get there financially because I don't want to split up Anthony Simons and Shaedon Sharpe. I don't know if I would move Nick Claxton. We'll see. I also don't know if any of the future first-round picks we have from either the Suns or the Sixers or the Mavericks could have really good value. But yeah, we're relatively healthy right now, knock on wood, and we're 22 games above 500. We unfortunately don't get any All-Stars again. No love out here in Portland. And we are 39-17 at the deadline. We are the 1 seed in the Western Conference, 2.5 game lead over the Houston Rockets. We do have Dylan Brooks, so would you look at that. Cavs are 40-17 over there in the East. Shaedon Sharpe is averaging 27.4 points a night. How is he not an All-Star? I mean, what is that free throw percentage, though? Anthony Simons is averaging 6.1 assists, shooting 41% from 3. Brandon Miller is having a great year 3. Sensabaugh, I think, has been a fine 6th man for us. Nick Claxton's averaging 12 and 10. He might be in a contract year if he opts out of his player option. I think Isaiah Stewart has been a good pickup for us. I like Ron Holland. He's been a little bit more, I was going to say efficient this year, but no, he's gotten worse, kind of. I mean, he's gone down at the line, down at the field overall, just up from 3. There's really nobody good on the trade block. I'm intrigued. The Clippers are 12-43. They have Jaylen Brown on their roster. Or the Miami Heat, who are 19-36, have Jimmy Butler on their roster. I just feel like this wouldn't be a smart trade for us. So you know what? Let's keep rolling with this team. I'm not going to make any moves. We will have a little bit of flexibility in the offseason. We do have the Dallas Mavericks first-round pick, but they are the 7th seed here in the West, so might not be the best pick in the world. But let's hopefully win the finals instead. Oof. And Anthony Simons breaks his left thigh at the end of March. That is just brutal, man. So he's probably going to miss the first 2 rounds at minimum in the playoffs. Oh, and there goes Kevon Looney. We do finish with 55 wins. Giannis wins MVP in Charlotte. Dylan Harper, Rookie of the Year in Golden State. Jalen Suggs, 6th Man of the Year in Cleveland. Chet gets DPOY and Most Improved. And Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. Well, Melo and Giannis on the same team. That's filthy. Thankfully, that is over there in the Eastern Conference. No Shaedon Sharpe on an All-NBA team. That is disrespectful. And we finish as the 2 seed in the West. We're going to be going up against the Dallas Mavericks here in round 1. Yeah, Luka was hurt when I showed you guys them last, but that's a team that could potentially beat us in round 1. So Simons is going to be out for 2 to 4 more weeks. We got Sharpe as the leading scorer, then Simons, Miller, Claxton, Sensabaugh, Stewart, and Holland, who I think improved, at least on the margins this year. So with the injuries to Anthony Simons and Kevon Looney, John Wall and Derek Lively are going to get about 11 minutes each night in the playoffs. I think Holland about 23 is fine, 27 to Sensabaugh. Let's do 31 to Claxton, 29 to Stewart, and then, yeah, let's just give probably 30 to Nembhard. Let's do 42 to Sharpe and 36 to Brandon Miller. So can Shaedon Sharpe carry this team in the playoffs? We do lose game 1 by 7. Damn, Sharpe had 38, but it was not enough. Andrew Nembhard, 3 for 13 from the field, 1 for 10 from 3. Damn. Game 2 goes to the Blazers. Okay, we win by 2 points. Miller with 26. Shaedon Sharpe, 21. Game number 3 is going to go to the Dallas Mavericks. They win by 21 points. Damn, Shaedon Sharpe, 35, but once again, not enough. And we tied up 2-2. Shaedon Sharpe, 32 and 12. This man is, I think, our best player by far. We go down 3 games to 2. Are we really going to lose to the 7th seed as the 2 seed? Oh, man, we get eliminated in round 1. Oh, that hurts. I know Anthony Simons was hurt, but this might be a fire Chauncey Billups scapegoat as Tatum and the Jazz win the West, Mobley and the Cavs win the East. The Jazz win it all. Tatum is your finals MVP. There goes LeBron, Harden, DeRozan, and Paul George. John Wall as well. Oh, wow, and DeMar DeRozan did make the Hall of Fame. I don't normally see that. So we aren't going to have anything here in the lottery. We have our pick at 28, and we also have the Mavericks pick at 19. Like I said, I think I'm going to use that as a scapegoat to fire Chauncey Billups. Let's see if we can pick up like an Eric Spoelstra, who's an upgrade over him as a defensive coach. We could try to get Mike Budenholzer. You know, Quinn Snyder's been elite every year. I'm going to give him the bag. Monty Williams as well, I think would be a huge pickup. This is a loaded coaching free agency. You got Will Hardy as well. Okay, Darvin Ham is out here. Give Darvin Ham a 4-year deal. So we get Snyder, Williams, and Ham. I'm 100% choosing Quinn Snyder. So I'm going to take Jameer Jones here with our first round pick at 19, and Mikal Brown Jr. here with our second first round pick. This is the Cameron Boozer Cooper Flack. So the Rockets lost in the conference finals and picked number 1, probably via the Nets. That's crazy. So Nick Claxton opts out. I'm not surprised. Was really hoping he was going to opt in. I might do an Anthony Simons sign and trade. Maybe this is where I realize him and Sharpe just aren't going to work out. Simons isn't a true point guard. So let's give him about this. Yeah, we'll give him this 5-year deal. I mean, I'm not going to pay Nick or Nembhard that much money yet. I think I'm going to try to bring back Claxton on a 2-year deal, and we get them both. I'm not renouncing the rights on Sharpe, obviously, who's restricted, and Andrew Nembhard, or to Andrew Nembhard. Well, no, and yeah. Sharpe gets a deal from the Pistons. We are matching that. I want to see if we could try to do an Anthony Simons, who's 27, for Jaylen Brown trade, who's 29. The Clippers were one of the worst teams, and I would give you, let's see, Sixers first rounder next year or Suns. We'll give you the Sixers first rounder. So Simons a pick and Derek Lively for Jaylen Brown. They say no. What about if I give you that Suns first round pick as well? They say no, and my first round pick. So that's 3 first, Lively, and Simons for Jaylen Brown. Wow. They really don't want to trade Jaylen Brown. And I'll give you Jameer Jones, who I just took in the first round. That's a massive offer for a 30-year-old JB. Wow. All right, so the Thunder were really bad last year. Let's see if we can try to trade for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's in the final year of his contract. And I'm going to offer up Anthony Simons, Derek Lively, Jameer Jones, the Suns' first-round pick next year. They say no. I feel like I can get it done, but maybe not. Maybe I'm in over my head. Yeah, unfortunately I am. Let's offer maybe Zach Clark. Damn. All right, what about a Anthony Simons, Jameer Jones, Derek Lively, and 2 first-round picks for Cade Cunningham trade? Wow, I just can't get any deal done right now. This is tough. Trae Young on the market? Okay, yeah. So I didn't even have to give up the picks. I make a trade for Trae Young, who was kind of floated around in trades before with the Hawks. Like, I could have traded for him at the deadline. I give up Anthony Simons, Jameer Jones, Derek Lively, and Zach Clark for Trae Young. I'm able to keep most of my other players, and we get a true point guard next to Shaedon Sharpe. Now, obviously not a great defender, but we have Sharpe, who's got B+ perimeter D, great rim protector in Claxton, great perimeter defender in Brandon Miller, and Isaiah Stewart, who can hold his own, but Ron Holland's a good defender as well if we want to go in like those fourth quarter lineups. I mean, if I could afford Andrew Nembhard, I would like for him to... investing $21 million to a guy that's only going to play like 14 minutes a night isn't worth it. So I'm going to see if I can get Jose Alvarado on a 2-year deal. Pick up Goga Batate as like the 3rd center behind Mooney and Claxton. And I mean, maybe I'll get back Nembhard on the qualifying offer. Did he not have one? He did not. Okay, that was fine. I was going to let him walk anyway. Let's see if a Trae Young, Shaedon Sharpe team can win a championship. All right, so it's going to be 38 minutes apiece to the backcourt, 34 to Brandon Miller, 28 to Holland and Claxton. Then we have Sensabaugh, Looney, Stewart, and Alvarado off the bench. Under Quinn Snyder, this is going to be a 3.5-star balanced team. We pair him up with Trae Young. Maybe he was the one that did the recruiting. We win game 1 by 14. Brandon Miller, 34 points in 33 minutes. Let's hope that we are the 1 seed here in the Western Conference. All right, let's go. This team finally gets an all-star in Trae Young, who's averaging 26 and 13 for this team. I don't know why the Hawks aren't doing Murray at the 1 and Simons at the 2, but they're starting Derek Lively, and he's been off. Well, he can't hit a shot, actually. Never mind, he stinks. But we are the 1 seed in the West. We are 43 and 10. Just a quick look here at the season stats. Shaedon Sharpe is our leading scorer. Don't know how he wasn't an all-star. Brandon Miller averaging a career high in points, 59% true shooting as well. Ron Holland, 47 from the field, 28 from 3. Not great, but hey, the efficiency is up. We will take that. I'm probably not going to make any moves at the deadline. I'm just praying that this team is fully healthy for the playoffs. All right, we just hit 65 wins. We're 68 and 11. Oh my God, I thought we were going to win 70 games. I mean, we still can. 70 and 12. Trae Young MVP. All right, well, I guess that was the missing piece to the team. And Quinn Snyder gets Coach of the Year. Trae Young has a hyperextended left shoulder. He is day-to-day, though, and can play through it. He gets on All-NBA first team. And we are the 1 seed in the West going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I tried getting Shea, man. I really did. Here are the season stats. Everybody else is pretty much healthy besides Trae Young at the current moment. 5 assists for Ron Holland. Let's freaking go, man. So for the playoffs, Alvarado can get about 10 minutes. Kevon Mooney, maybe about 16. Stewart, about 20, 23 to Sensabaugh. I think we can probably go 29 to Holland and Claxton. I want to go 40 to Trae. Maybe we'll do 28 to Holland because I want to do 40 to Sharpe as well. Round 1 against OKC. Trae Young is fully healthy. We go up 3-0, and we gentlemen sweep the Thunder. All right, so we are back in the second round. We obviously got eliminated in round 1 last year by the Dallas Mavericks, so we can look to get revenge on them. It's a sick trio of Luka, Kyrie, and the Dyson Daniels developing at the 3. That's fun. They also have Herb Jones, Asor Thompson, Cam Johnson off the bench. Wow, they have a lot of good wings on this team. Game 1, we end up winning. Okay, by 25 points. Let's go. Game 2, we end up winning. Let's go, by 15 points. I think we may be okay. Yep, we end up winning in 5. Trae Young averaged 31 points in round 2. Shaedon Sharpe with 24. Now we're taking on the Rockets. This is a good team. But they still have KPJ as your point guard. Jalen Green, Ian Jackson, Jabari Smith, Şengün, Isaiah Collier, Cameron Boozer. Man, they've just been drafting like a lot of good talent. Can we go to the finals? Yes, we gentlemen sweep them, and we're going up against Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers. Trae gets Western Conference Finals MVP. Pacers have Devin Vassell. Okay, the Nuggets had him a couple years ago when we beat them in the playoffs. Cam Whitmore, Randall, and Mitch Robb, 2 former Knicks there in the front court for the Pacers. Game 1 goes to the Blazers. Game 2 goes to the Blazers. This is basically the Nate McMillan series. Game 3 goes to the Blazers, and we end up sweeping them. We go 16-3 in the playoffs after winning 70 regular season games, and Brandon Miller is your finals MVP, not Trey or Shaedon Sharpe. So yeah, I guess this team needed a new head coach and a franchise point guard. And that is the trading Damian Lillard #3 pick Blazers rebuild. I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments what the Blazers should do this offseason. Should they trade Damian Lillard and kind of go the route we took, or should they trade the 3rd pick, maybe with Anthony Simons, to go out and get like a Pascal Siakam or Paul George or a player of that caliber? Drop a like if you guys have been enjoying the rebuilds, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.